The course we are studying is Discrete Math. We are talking about the subject of logic, and we are talking about quantifiers right now. So there are mostly two quantifiers that we encounter. One of them means there exists some number, and the quantifier looks like the capital letter E, that it's flipped like a mirror image. And the other quantifier is the quantifier that means whichever number in the world that we will choose, and this quantifier looks like the letter A flipped on its head. And we know that sometimes in our homework, what we're asked to do is to place, or maybe it is placed for us, is to place the negation sign in the beginning of some expression, some sentence that we're using. I'll show you how the negation sign looks like. It looks like this. So this sign means not or negation. And what we are many times asked to do is to push this negation sign more into the interior of the sentence, to push it from the left to be more on the right side of the sentence. And there are many ways to do so. I covered a few of the ways in my previous video. For example, I explained how when this negation sign appears just before the quantifier like this, so there is a way to push this negation sign more to the right side. And I also showed that sometimes there are two quantifiers, one after the other. For example, like these two quantifiers that they are batched together. And there's a way that I can kind of push this negation sign more into the interior of the sentence, and I showed it in my previous video. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you another way and another tactic how to do this act of kind of pushing and try to drag the negation sign more into the depth of a sentence. And I'll show you now some kind of a technique how to do so. So the technique I'm going to show you is making use of some kind of rule that is called the De Morgan law of propositional logic. So the thing is that I can look at the sentence that I have in front of me, some sentence that includes a quantifier or maybe a few quantifiers, and it begins, or it has in it a negation sign, and now my task is to push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence. So the thing is, I'm kind of practicing my eyes to look for this kind of template, this kind of a certain kind of look and feel that a sentence may have, and I'll show you what I mean. So just looking at this sentence, I am using the phrases, the letters P and Q, just as a placeholders to whatever you want to put there, whether it's some kind of expression, something with a quantifier or without a quantifier, it doesn't really matter. The thing is that when I'm working with some kind of sentence that has quantifiers in it, and my job is to push the negation sign more inside to the depth and to the right side of the sentence, if I am looking and I'm kind of observing and my eyes are sensitive to catch this kind of template, and I notice that the sentence in front of me is looks something like this, when it has a negation sign and then a parenthesis, and there's some kind of two expressions, and in between them there is this sign of connective that means and, then there is a way I can write this sentence in a different way, and it will mean the same, but it will progress me to pushing the negation sign more inside the sentence. And I'll show you how I write the same thing in a different manner that enhances this task. So let me show you. So actually, those two sentences that I just wrote to you, the one above and the one below, they mean the same. So they're the same and they're interchangeable. And if I see this kind of template, if I see this kind of structure, I can just rewrite the sentence or this part of the sentence that I'm talking about. I can write it in a different way, in this way. So what I did, I just took this negation sign and I kind of put it, I know I double it, I have two negation signs, not just one, but actually it is considered to accomplish the mission of pushing the negation sign more inside of the sentence. So it actually enhances my my ability to do what I need to do in this kind of task. But I want you to notice something that is very important. This when I started, I had here the connective that is called and, but it changed. Now I'm using a different connective. It's the connective or, and we must be really specific on this and make sure that we don't forget to change this connective, because it's very important to make this change so that those two sentences will be the same and will be interchangeable. Okay, so this is one way I can do it, and there's also the other part of this law, and I'll show you as well. So let me write just a little bit a different kind of template, kind of a way that I can see in my sentence some kind of other arrangement, and this is the way I may see it in a sentence that I need to push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence. I can find also the following template and I can see it kind of jump from the page to me. I'm kind of training my eye to look for this kind of structure. And when I see it, I can't miss it. I see it and I grab it, and then I can change it to my benefit. So the other structure that I can encounter in the sentences that I'm working on is the following structure. So this is kind of similar to what we've seen before, but just notice that before I had the connective and, now I look at the sentence that has the connective or in it. So what I'm doing is, when I'm working with some sentence that has quantifiers and it has in the beginning or somewhere in it a negation sign, and now my task is to move this negation sign, to push it inwards into the right hand of the sentence. If I notice that there is something in the sentence that I'm working on, some kind of structure or template that looks like this, the P and Q, they are just a placeholder to any other expression with or without quantifiers. I know that I have now a way that I can write this kind of phrase in a way that will be good and conducive to my task to push the negation more inward, and I'll show you how I write it in a different way. So just as before, those two sentences are the same. The one above and the one below, they have the same meaning. They're interchangeable. So I can feel free to, when I see this kind of structure in a sentence in front of me, I will write it again, rewrite it in this way. So now I place the negation sign close to the first expression in parentheses, and then another negation sign next to the second phrase in parentheses. But please notice, and please do not forget, that I should change the connective. When I began, the connective was the connective that means and. But when I'm rewriting the sentence in a way that the negation sign is more pushed inward, then this connective changes. Now this connective is the connective that means and, while before it was the connective that means or. So don't forget this kind of switch in the connective. It's very important if you want to continue to keep the same meaning to the sentence. So this kind of rewriting makes us closer to our task to push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence. There are actually a few more tips and tricks that I'm going to give you on this task, and I will do that in the next video. I hope to see you there.